scheduled to learn more about Travefy here today. So first, I just want to quickly share what is Travefy. Travefy is an itinerary and quote building platform. So it's an online tool that you can use to quickly build beautifully branded itineraries and quotes that you can share with your clients multiple ways, whether you share it via a PDF that you print out on our mobile app or on the URL Shareable Itinerary. Now today what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through a demo of Travefy, and it'll probably just take about 20 minutes. So I'll just kind of show you, how it works, how you build and create these itineraries, but then also what it's going to look like on the client's end. So you'll be able to see it from both sides. And then of course, at the end, if you have any questions, and then we are also going to be giving away a discount as well. So stick around for that. But in the meantime, I am going to jump right in here. And right now what you're seeing on your screen is the Travefy account. So this is what it would look like if you first logged into your Travefy account. You would be able to see all of your itineraries here. You can see that, you can keep them organized as well. You can see what trips are upcoming and all that organization there. One thing that I want to quickly highlight though really quick is your profile. So I'm going to click on your profile right here. And when you first sign up for Travefy, you'll be asked to fill this out. And this is really important because this is what actually brands every one of those itineraries that you said. So you heard me say, we create beautifully branded itineraries. Well, the branded itinerary means that's your brand. It's your contact information appearing on there. And this is how we get that information from your profile. So that's where that's coming from right there. Now, typically when you create a new itinerary, you would press Create New Trip. But I'm actually going to jump into one that I started working on just so that you have a sense of what a completed itinerary can look like. But don't worry too, we'll also create some information in here together. But to kind of give you an idea, this is what it looks like in the builder. So when you're building this itinerary, whether it's a booked trip or if this is a quote, it'll always look like this, and you'll have options to add all this information. Now, before I get into actually adding information to this itinerary, I do just want to quickly show how users get started with setting up a new itinerary. So you can do a couple things. Like one, you can change this cover photo back here. So this cover image that you're seeing can always be changed so that it reflects, the destination your client is traveling to. So all you have to do is simply press Change Cover Photo right here, and then you can either upload your own image. Or if you want to search through our collection of images, you can do that as well. So we have a database of thousands of different images that you can use, and these are all free stock photos. So you won't get in trouble for using them. They're all royalty free, and it's just a great way. If you just want to quickly get a picture in there, you can do that. And you can go ahead and select your picture and then add it. The other thing is you can also, set up the trip name and the trip start dates and pricing, all of that information right into the trip details that you can get into by clicking on that trip name. And this will open up those trip details. So then, of course, you can add that trip name. You can add that trip start date. Now, one thing to note about the trip start date is if you don't have a trip start date set out yet, you can leave this blank. So if you leave this blank, it's just going to say day 1, day 2, day 3, and so on. So it really does give you a lot of flexibility that, you can come in later and add that date, or if you're building a quote and there's not a date set, that's okay. You can also add a main trip price here as well. So again, great for that quote building or building a proposal for your client. You can always add that pricing in here, and you can add any currency symbol that you'd like in here and any information. So if you want to, write whatever you wanted in there, you could do that. And then there's also the description here. And this also appears at the top of the itinerary, just like that price would. And this is a great place where you can add any really important information that you want to include, like maybe more pricing info or just basic trip information. You'll also notice that you have a lot of formatting options here as well. So you could highlight text, you can bold it, you can add links. So you really can add a lot of information in there. You'll also see, there's some other options here when getting this set up, like deciding what your time format is and all of that other information in here. But I'm just going to save those changes. And now what I want to get into is actually showing how you start adding information to this itinerary. Now with Travefy, we have lots of features that make it quick and easy to add this, and I'll show you each and every one of those. But one thing that I want to quickly share is there are 2 automatic ways to add information, one of them being client-based. So if there's any client-based users, you're actually able to set up your Travefy account via Live Connect and forward res cards to your Travefy account, and it'll build itineraries that way. So it's a really, really quick, seamless, automated process to forward that information in. The other option is we also have an email import technology, where if you have certain email confirmations from suppliers or vendors, you can sometimes just actually forward those in via a Travefy email address, and it'll forward that information directly into your itinerary as well. So, basically you don't have to do anything in Travefy, you just send it in and it appears in there for you. Now, if you're not adding information via client-based or an email import, what you're always going to do is you're going to come into the Itinerary Builder, like I am now, and then you're going to click into the day that you want to add information. Now you can see this day has information here, but I want to add information into Thursday. So then what you're going to do is once you're into the day, you're going to select New Event right here. So you're always going to add a new event. So you're going to hear me talk about events, and everything is an event. So if you're adding a flight, if you're adding a dinner reservation, a cruise, no matter what it is, it's always an event. So you're always going to go into that day, press new event, and then based on the type of event it is you're adding, Travefy is going to try to quickly locate this information for you. So I'm going to show you an example of this by adding a flight. So I'm going to choose flight. Now you're going to see that I have a few options when adding this flight. I can look it up, which I'm actually going to do in a second here. You can also forward in that booking confirmation email if you have it. And then we also have a GDS Pnr Lookup as well. So you could actually just copy and paste the Pnr directly into here for the flights, and it will pull that information for you. But I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to just look up a flight actually. So I'm going to add this. I'm going to add the flight number and the airline, and then Travefy is going to find it based on that departing date. So you'll see, okay, here is the flight that I want. So I'm going to add it to my itinerary, and there it is. So you can see that took less than a second. It's really intuitive, quick and easy. But the great thing about this is even though Travefy gives you all this information to send to your client, we also allow you to customize everything. So if you want to go in here and add, seat assignments, confirmation numbers, you can do all of that. All you have to do is scroll over that event, press that pencil icon like so, and then you come in here and you can add any information you want. We give you some form fields in here to make it easy as well. If you want to add pricing, add any notes, photos, you can attach documents. So you can really see that there is a lot of information that you could add into this event to keep it organized in this itinerary. You'll also notice for this flight that it says auto update right here. Now, what that means is that the auto update feature has been turned on for these flights. So Travefy is a feature that will automatically update any flight, if there's flight changes, gate changes, and it'll just automatically update it in here. Now, you can always choose to turn that off. So if you don't want it to auto update, you can always disable updates just like so. But it's a really awesome feature. I personally love it. It's just nice knowing that you can kind of set it and you don't have to come in and manually edit for every change. Now you can also add information like cruises and tours the same way that I just added this flight by looking it up. All you have to do is, again, press new event, select cruise, and then what you can do is you can search for a cruise line and a cruise ship based on that departing date. And we support, over 30 different of these cruises. So really all the main cruise providers you're going to find on here. It's really simple. You're just going to type in that, that cruise line and the cruise ship in here, and then it's going to locate it. Now you'll see that I couldn't find, obviously the Celebrity Edge is not departing on May 31st, so I won't be able to find it. But if it were to be departing on this date, it would say, 8-night Eastern Caribbean cruise or whichever cruise it is. And then you would be able to view the entire itinerary. So you'll see all the ports of call into all the correct days. And then once you press add to itinerary, it's just going to add all that information into all the days for you. So just like you saw this flight do, it's going to do the same thing, but it's going to add it into the days. So it actually starts to build out the itinerary for you. Same thing with tours. If you book a tour through a major tour provider, you could do the look it up as well by pressing new event, select tour, And then you can search for that tour line. So if I wanted Trafalgar, for example, and then I will see a list of all the tours available. And then what I could do is I could say, okay, if it's the Essence of Eastern Canada, I would see, okay, I want to get the itinerary. So then you can check it out and just make sure, okay, this is what I'm adding. And then if you press add to itinerary, it's going to add all of that information into every day for you. So it's going to add, you know, any pictures, you know, where they're going, and then the information that's coming from Trafalgar. So it's, again, super easy, really nice and simple. It adds it all in there for you. One other thing too that we also do is we're also starting to integrate directly with booking suppliers, which has been amazing, and we're always adding new ones. In fact, if you sign up today, you might see new ones by the end of the week. So right now, if you've booked through, for example, GoGo Vacations, you could actually pull entire booking confirmations in, and let me show you how. So all you would do is press New Event, select Booking. From here, you can choose what supplier you're looking for. So you can see what we have available currently, which is Classic, GoGo, you know, Qantas, Travel2, all of that. And then when you choose the supplier, you would typically have to sign into your supplier account. I've already signed in, so it's going to remember my password and username. So you'll see here that I have my booking number, and I can go ahead and enter my booking number, press Get Booking. And then what it's going to do is it's going to show me everything that's going to add. And I'm not going to add it on this itinerary just because I don't want to kind of get this messy, but you can see here what it will look like. And then it adds all of that information that's coming from GoGo. So you're going to get everything, you know, any information about the places, the seat assignments, confirmation numbers, the places that they're going to, all of that. All of that's going to just come directly in there. It's really exciting, very, very easy to do. Now, of course, you've seen all these ways to add things, you know, by looking them up through Travefy, but of course, you can always add anything manually. So I'm going to show you here. I'm going to add a transfer and show you what I mean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press New Event, and this is a transfer, so I'm going to choose Ground Transport. Now what I can do is you can see that I have these form fields available that I can start to fill out. So I'm going to start by choosing my subcategory. And then I'm going to say, you know, transfer from airport to hotel. I'm going to add the time in here. I can also add a confirmation number if I want, the carrier, if I want to add pricing. I'm also going to include a note because I want them to know what they're looking for once they get there. So I'm going to say, driver will be at baggage claim. And then, of course, you know, this is where you could copy and paste anything that you have. And you can, you know, add those links, add any formatting. You can highlight the text so that they see it, you know, see all this important things. So really easy, you know, nice that you have that area to add any information you need. You can also add photos. So you can add up to 5 images in here. And this will allow you can add photos that you upload yourself. So if you want to upload your own, but you also can still search our, you know, selection of stock images to add in there as well. Again, if you want to attach like the voucher, you could add that in there. But then another thing that I want to show you that's really cool about Travefy is Travefy also has a database of millions of places all over the world that we can give you rich information on. So think if you're adding a restaurant, a hotel, a museum, a shop, to any itinerary that you're building, all you have to do in here is just type the name of the place. Travefy is going to try to find as much information as we can about it. And then that way you just type it in and you have all this rich information. So I'm going to show you how this works. So I'm going to type in the hotel that they're going to be going to here, because this is a transfer to the hotel. So in this event, I want to include that hotel. So you can see here that Travefy begins to look for what I'm trying to search for. So this is actually the one that I want. So I'm going to click it. And there it is. Now, if I scroll over and I click View, you're going to see all this rich information that Travefy found. So you can see here are these beautiful photos that are being pulled in. We also have this website, phone number, address, all being pulled in from Google as well. But another thing that's really cool about this specific place that I pulled in is we are also a Virtuoso preferred supplier. So if there's any Virtuoso members on this webinar, you will actually be able to turn on a feature in your account where you're going to automatically get Virtuoso amenity information when you search for Virtuoso places. So this one, for example, is a Virtuoso place. So you can see as I scroll down here that you'll see how this information is coming from Virtuoso, and you're going to get the amenity information in here as well. Now, if you're not a Virtuoso member, that's okay. This information just won't appear, but you'll still get rich information like check-in, check-out, you know, all that other stuff in there, and the photos too. So it's just really handy that you just quickly can get, you know, that much information by just searching for it. So there it is. You can see the event that I just added. But now to go off of this, you're probably think, okay, you know, manually adding it, that was really easy, but at the same time, you don't always want to be manually adding stuff. So that's why we created the library. The library is a way that you can save information to reuse over and over again so that you don't have to rebuild it. So where the library is right here. On the right-hand side of my screen, this is my library. So anything that I've built can be found right here, and I can just search for it. And when I need it, I can drag and drop it over and add it into any itinerary. So you can see just like that. It's really simple. Now, how you can save this information, you could save it, you know, if I go in to edit it, I can press save to library and it saves it in there. So now I can find it over here. You can also go to your main account page in right here where we started at the very beginning. And you can view your library right here. And you can also come in here and add information to your library in there too. So we actually have a lot of users who will do that. If you want to come in and start building out your inventory so that you have it, you can do that as well. So it's a really awesome feature, you know, just really helps that time saving in that. Now, one last thing I want to share before I move on to showing you how this works on the client's end is we also have city guides. Now we have destination to over 600 places, and we're always adding more, but it's really simple. If I just come over here on the right-hand side where my library is, and I press city guides, you could actually type in the name of the place that you are looking for. So obviously in this case, it's Venice. So I'm gonna search Venice, and then here you're gonna see all of this, you know, these rich content provided that Travefy has. And I can either drag and drop, and again, you're just literally dragging and dropping it over. And I can do the entire city guide, or you can also choose to just add certain sections. So if you just want to add, you know, here I'm going to add cafes, you know, since they're getting to their hotel, they don't really have anything planned. So here's some options for them to go see. So you can see right here, I just drag and dropped in cafe options, and you have all those places available, and as well as pictures. Now, keep in mind, all of this is customizable as well. So if there's any in here that you're like, oh, you know, I wouldn't really recommend that place, but I would recommend a different one that's not on here, you could always add that yourself or, you know, edit anything in there. So that's what's really helpful. And again, over 600 places, it's really nice and just adds so much content to this itinerary. So now when you're ready to send this to your client, what you're going to do is you're just going to go right up to the top where it says send to clients here. Now you have a few different options when sending this to your client. The first one is the URL shareable itinerary, which you could actually just preview on your own by pressing preview. And here's what it looks like. This link it's literally just that link, so it never changes. So you could copy this link directly from here, paste it in social media, share it on an email, you know, deliver it however you wish to your client. And if there's ever edits or changes, you don't have to resend it. It'll actually update on its own. They can also view this from any device, whether it's a tablet, a mobile phone, a computer. It's always going to scale in size and fit on the screen they're viewing it on. And you can see as I scroll through here how just nice everything is laid out. You know, it's very easy. If I want to click on anything like that hotel, I can click view. You know, if I'm viewing this on my phone, I could tap that phone number and it begins calling them. You can expand these photos and all of this. So it's all very simple to, you know, beautifully designed and laid out so they can access everything. And you'll also notice too that your logo and information appears up here at the top. The second option that you have is you can also email it. So this is probably the easiest way if you just want to, you know, write in your client's name, their email, include a custom message if you wish. And when you send the email, they're going to receive a personalized email that just looks like it's coming from you. And it's going to have a button that they can click to view the itinerary, which will bring them to that URL. But there's also going to be instructions on how to download the Trip Plans mobile app. Now, the Trip Plans mobile app is available for iOS or Android. And here it is. Here it is in the App Store. This app is completely unbranded. So what I mean by that is there's no Travefy. It is no Travefy in the logo. It's also called Trip Plans. So your clients aren't going to be confused with, what is this? They're actually just going to see your contact information. So this is an example of what it looks like when they open it up in their app. They'll see, your logo, contact info. They can then tap in to view all the information that you've added, so they can scroll through, view everything. They can also view all of this offline. So this information can also be downloaded so that they'll still have access to this mobile app itinerary, even when they're not connected to Wi-Fi or data. The other cool thing about this app is that there's also a built-in messaging tool. So it's a way for you and your client to stay in communication with each other. Now, how it works is they would just tap on that little chat icon in the top corner. They would type their messages to you. And if they send you a message, you can receive and reply 2 different ways. One way is that you can reply back via your own mobile app. So as a travel professional, you'll get to download the Travefy Pro App. So this app will give you access to all of your clients' itineraries on the go, but it'll also allow you to, respond back to any messages. So what's great about it is if you're out running an errand and, the client sends you a message, you'll just get it like a text message on your phone would, just pops up, and then you'll be able to reply back right then and there. You can also respond back directly in your itinerary builder. So if you come over to where the library and city guides can be found, you can press discussion right here. And from here, you'll be able to see the entire discussion thread and also type any messages back to them. So it's helpful. So if you're in here making any edits or changes, in the same window, you can let them know that you made those changes. Now, if you don't want to use the communication, if you don't want the chat tool, you can turn it off. So if you go back into your trip details, in here, you can actually disable messaging. So that way, it just removes the option to chat. So keep that in mind, that if you don't want to use that, you can turn it off. Now, the final option with Share This Itinerary is the PDF. So the PDF, of course, will allow you to, print out a version of it. And you have some options here to choose from. This is really just making it as expanded or condensed as you'd like it. And then you just press generate. And then when you download it, it looks similar to this. Where, in some images, this image is a small one, so it appears pretty tiny, but most of the time it appears a lot larger on here, so keep that in mind. But you'll have a cover page, you'll have your logo, contact information, all this info here. And then you're also going to have a trip summary breakdown. So just kind of here's your, high-level overview of what's going on and what time and what day. And then you're going to get everything listed below. So any, confirmation numbers, places, photos, anything that you've added will go into here. So you can see, no matter how you want your client to view their itinerary, no matter how they want to receive it, you have that option to provide it. Now, that's pretty much what I have for sharing the high-level overview of Travefy. But before we get into questions, what I want to share next is a discount and then also how to get started. So we will be sending an email follow-up after this with these instructions and with this information. But I did want to show that you'll want to, if you want to sign up for a free trial of Travefy, you can go to travefy.com/pro. And then once you're in here, you can simply press Start Free Trial. Then you can just enter your name and email, create a password, and that's it. You will be off to the races from there. You'll have access to everything we went over today. And we also give you a 10-day trial. But if you do want more time, that's not a problem. Just let us know. We're happy to help. We also offer weekly webinars and training sessions. We can also do a personal demo. Our support is always available to you. We never just kind of leave you hanging. We always are happy to help. We have live in chat within the app, so then that way, when you're in there building itineraries, if you have a quick question, you can ask us there and there. You can give us a call, send us an email, lots of different ways to get a hold of us in there. Now, the other thing that I want to share, though, is that we do have, let me pull up this. we do have a special discount for you. And again, I will be sending, in the email this information, but if you use the discount code JacksFacts25, which you can apply at checkout when you decide to subscribe, you'll see a little promo code box available there, and you will receive 25% off your first 3 months if you decide to go monthly, or you can also subscribe annually and receive 25% off as well. Now on that is our subscriptions. We are subscription based, and you can choose to go month to month. There's no contracts, or you can choose to go annually. If you do decide to go annually, you will automatically save 20% off. And let me just show you the pricing here, how it works. Now, when you sign up for a trial, you'll automatically be put into Plus, because Plus is going to give you all of those features that we went through here today. But we also have another just kind of standard package called Starter. And Starter doesn't have access to the mobile app as well as flight updates, but it's a great option if you just kind of want to build PDFs or share it via the URL. You could do Starter as well. But to give you an idea of pricing, it starts at $16 a month or $39. But then again, if you upgrade to annually, then you're going to save 20% off. The other nice thing that I want to mention too is that you can always upgrade and downgrade when you want. So if you start off with Starter, you can always in your account upgrade at any point to Plus, and vice versa. So that's kind of a nice thing about that as well. So with that, that is all I had to share so far, and I'd love to start answering questions.
Great, thank you, Stephanie, for an awesome presentation. I certainly learned a lot. I hope everybody else did too. And we have a bunch of questions here for you.
Oh, great.
First question that came in early in your presentation regarded pricing. There was a field specified for pricing, and they would like to know if you can leave pricing blank.
Yes, that's a great question. Yeah, so basically that's just one of those form fields that you can choose to use or not choose to use. So like in here, for example, I could remove that, and that would remove the pricing from there. There's also the pricing that you would see in these events. So every event, you'll see that there's the pricing listed. But if you don't have anything there, it just won't appear at all. Otherwise, yeah, you can use it, or if you keep it blank, then it just won't appear at all.
Perfect. Okay, next question. How quickly do schedule changes on the flights upload on the app to notify the client of changes?
Yeah, that's a great question. So if the departing flight is within 24 hours, it's going to constantly update. So if it's leaving, soon, it's going to keep updating. But if it's further than 24 hours away, then we do it every few days. So you can see right here, when I uploaded this flight just during this demo, you'll see that says next update is May 6th. So if tomorrow there's a flight change and you log on, you won't see it yet, but once it's May 6th, you'll see that change. So that's where it's kind of every few days. Otherwise, it'll be constantly if it's within 24 hours.
Good. Okay, question regarding the city guides. Do they show how old the information is? She noted that it's especially important when recommending dining to clients.
Yeah, so it's constantly being updated. So we use Arrival Guides is who it's a third party that we source out, and they're always keeping it updated. They get their information from content curators, editors, but also destination marketing as well. So it's good to know, if you want to, if you add any city guides and you see something that looks off, let us know. We haven't heard of anything like that happening, but those all should be pretty up to date. But I would just definitely know if you do see anything, or just double check it, let us know. But it should be pretty well skimmed through and very up to date.
Fair enough. Next question, is there a user guide available to assist when you are a new user and learning to use Travefy?
Yes, so what you can do is, so there's a few different ways. I mentioned there's that in-app chat where I don't have it on my end because I would be talking to myself in here, but there's down in the bottom corner, you would typically see a little bubble there, and you can open it and start conversations. So you can talk to us, our support team. You can also click on this little question mark right here on the side toolbar. And if you press on that, this brings you into our support center. We have a ton of things that you can see. You can check out our quick guide, kind of just gives you, all the information on how to get started. We also have a lot of video tutorials, those trainings, webinars, our knowledge base. We have a lot of FAQs in here as well. So lots of information available to you. And you can access it again right here on your toolbar, or when you first log in, you'll also see it right up at the top where it says Get Help.
Excellent. Actually, the next question regarded the same thing about training. She also added that travel agents have been raving about Travefy, so great job.
Yes, that's awesome to hear.
Okay, let's see what we have next here. Is the trip planning app that is in the App Store the one for clients? What about for travel agents? Is it the same app for both, or are they different apps?
Yeah, and that's a really good question, because it's really important to note that the trip plans app that you're seeing right now, this is what your client will download, but you want to download Travefy Pro App. The reason why is because the trip plans app is going to only show you trips that you've been invited to. So you obviously wouldn't really be inviting yourself. So you just want to download Travefy Pro, and then you log into your Travefy account, and then you'll see all of your trips in here, where your clients would download trip plans and they would only see the itineraries that they've actually been sent to. So most of your clients will probably have one itinerary. If they have more than one itinerary, they can always switch and view other trips. But so yeah, you want to be sure to download the Travefy Pro app.
Good. Actually, somebody's asking if this webinar is being recorded for them to refer to in the future, and yes, it is. It will be available at www.jacksfax.com under our travel agent training menu item. So thank you for asking that. Can you put airline ticket numbers and seat assignments in the airline section?
Yes. So what you would do for that is, let me just go in here really quick. So what you would do with that is you would just simply scroll over that flight event, and you would press that pencil icon. And then in here, you would scroll down, and right where it says Add Notes, I would click that. And then here's where you can add, any seat assignments or any other information in here. So if I just say like XYZ there, and then done editing, you'll see that it adds it in there. So you can add any information you need.
Great. And what is the full subscription price for 1 year if we are not lucky enough to get a discount?
Yeah, so it would be, so if you were not lucky enough to get a discount, it would be $372 for the year for Plus. Otherwise, it would be $156 for the year for Starter. Now, the discount, I'm just doing the math here really quick, for the Jax Faxes. So for the Jax Fax discount, which was 25%, just doing that, it would be $279 for the year for the Plus subscription. So that would most likely be the one that you would purchase if you were doing the annual subscription.
Excellent, and thank you for offering that discount to our subscribers. We appreciate it, and I'm sure they do too.
Yeah, definitely, we're happy to.
Great. If somebody clicks on the city guides, will it go to a buy tab for those suppliers, activity suppliers, and so forth?
No, so it should not go to there. The only thing is, let me show you an example of here. There's certain things that it won't go to a buy tab, but it could take you to the URL of the place. So for example, if it was saying, hey, go to Disney World, it's obviously going to give you the URL to Disney. So for example here, if I clicked view, this place right here, if I clicked onto this website, it would take me to the place. So it's not necessarily taking you to a buy now, but some of them might have kind of a, okay, do you want to book this if it's, something like Disney World or Universal. But that's something that, again, this is all customizable. So if that's ever, an issue, what you could do is you can edit all of this information. So you would just click into that place, and you can remove or add, change any of this. So you would just remove the website. So, so it shouldn't, be in their face as a buy now, but just know that, you can still remove those if you wanted to.
That's perfect. Seems like you've thought of everything.
Yeah, well, we're really receptive to feedback too. So, we talk to a lot of users. We've understood, kind of what they want. And so we make sure, that they get that.
Great. Somebody's asking if travel impressions and/or FunJet are going to be added anytime soon.
We hope so. So we're working on it. Yeah, we really hope that, especially, Fungi and Travel Impressions are two really popular ones that we hope to add soon. No word as of yet, but if we do, it should be in the next few months, hopefully, that you would see that coming through.
Excellent. What are the hours of your help desk?
Yeah, so we are available Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. But we always have somebody on call during the weekend. So don't be surprised if you send us an email on Saturday, you could get a response pretty quickly. So we're always making sure, that, and same with the evenings as well. We always are watching to make sure, there's nothing really important that needs to get in there. Otherwise, we answer those pretty quickly.
Good. A couple more questions. Can you edit your client? Can you edit your client's trip from the app?
That's a good question. So not currently, but what you can do though is when you're in the mobile app in here, if you click into one of the itineraries, so I don't have a screenshot of what it looks like in here, but basically it would look kind of like the second one that you're seeing right here, where you'd be able to see their itinerary. You'd click into it, but there would be a little icon in the top toolbar that asks if you want to open it in, whatever web browser you have on your phone. And so what you can do is you can just open it from there, and then it'll open your itinerary in the web browser, and then you can edit it on there. So technically you can still edit on your phone. It's just not directly in the app.
Okay. Next question regarding the app. If a client posts a comment or question in the app, that notification comes to you, the agent, in text format or via email?
So it'll be via email, but then, so we always, and it won't be right away. So if you have a conversation going on, it's not like you're going to have, like 30 emails coming at you at once. It'll kind of give you a breakdown of here's everything that went on that day. But otherwise, you're just going to get a push notification actually on your phone. So it's kind of like if you get a text message, how you get that push notification. It's the same thing. It's just going to be a push notification from that Travefy Pro app.
Great. The final question, at least for now, is how can we review what tour companies and cruise lines you have direct connect access to?
Yeah, so you could go to our FAQs actually. So in our FAQs, so let's see here. I could go to our So if you go to travefy.com/support here and you go to our FAQs, you could actually search here. If you do suppliers, you can see, a list of suppliers, and you can see, all of them here. This is a good one. I can send this as well in that email. This is a great one to look at because it's going to give you a list of all of the tours that you can look at, all of the cruises, and then all of those booking confirmation emails that we work with as well. So I can send a list of all those.
Excellent. You truly have thought of everything.
Yeah.
Great. Well, Stephanie, that is it for questions. So thank you for an excellent presentation. It looks like it's a great tool for agents, and the mobile app is a real convenience for their clients.
And thank you so much for having us and learning more about Travefy.
Of course, and thank you all for attending. We will be sending a follow-up email with our contact information as well as the link to the recording. So again, thank you, and I hope everybody has a great day.
Thanks again.
Okay, take care now.
Bye.